Welcome back, everybody, to another Kicking Tables. We are delighted to have Paige Treglown with us, the creator of Faction Fighters. Of course, we've got our preview of Faction Fighters up. I'll put a link right up there for you, so go check that out. Paige, welcome to Kicking Tables. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to talk with you guys.
So your game is on Kickstarter right now. First of
Yep,
all, how's it doing?
it's doing great. We are funded and we're headed towards our first stretch goal. So we're thrilled that we're doing so well. So
Amazing,
That's
amazing. So
awesome.
for those who don't know what Faction Fighters is, give us an overview. What kind of game is it?
so it's a two-player card battling game, and it kind of has elements of like trick taking and trading card games, and it's kind of mashed together. And it's just a super fun, light experience that you can pick up, at night when you need something fun to play, and you'll each the gameplay is you'll each play a card face down, and then you'll both reveal it. And then, depending on what card you revealed, it's a fighter with a certain power and ability, and it kind of like foreshadows what other fighters your opponent might play
Okay.
the next round. So then you'll play more fighters face down from your hand, and then you'll all reveal, and then whoever has the highest strength wins the treasure in the middle that you've been fighting over. And so it's just like a super fun, light game, and yeah, we're excited to have it on Kickstarter now.
Awesome, awesome.
Fantastic. So I want to know, how did this game get made, and like the inspirations that sort of drew you into this? Because I mean, Sean and I, when we played, we both sort of, had an idea of where the inspirations might be. But I want to hear from you. What were your inspirations for the game, and how did it actually come to be?
Yeah, so definitely heavily inspired by Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, that was
we
it.
knew it. We knew it. As soon
Yep.
as we looked like this has got to be Pokemon.
Yep, and we're also inspired by my childhood. My sister had made these characters, to sell to me when we were like 8 or whatever. And so and I loved them, and I'd buy them from her little shop. And then
Nice.
one year I just had the idea to make a game and make that game actually become a real game. And so I made it for her birthday, and she liked it. And then me and my husband just really had fun with the game, and so we just kept developing it until it's a product that we can sell. So
That is awesome. Yeah, we were looking at them, and even the because you have multiple characters in the same what do you call them? The same faction,
Faction.
right?
yes,
Faction.
yeah,
And it's very evident that it's like an evolution as the power of that character gets larger. It very much looks like a Pokemon evolution. So it's like you can see the heart of Pokemon in these games. It was very, very evident. But you
yeah.
also have what you're actually battling for is called an area deck, and I guess, in the base game, there's four area decks. What are the difference between them? Do they get harder as you play through? How do they differ from each other?
Yeah, so they do progress in difficulty and kind of in complexity a little bit. And so the first one is just kind of an introductory. You learn the steps of the gameplay. You get familiar with the battling and then the cleanup and how you resolve things. It's fairly simple, and each treasure has a different value to it. And then the second area, Gem Hollow, introduces these gems that you fight over. But then you can also fight over these battles that are called infused battles, and they can
Okay.
power up certain groups of gems. So you can make the ruby stronger, um, and that makes it have more victory points. So then you like,
Okay.
oh, do I win the ruby, or do I make the ruby stronger? And then if they have an emerald, do I want to make that stronger? Things like that. And then the third area, Doomsday Bay, introduces a boss that you fight at the end. And so you're kind
Okay.
of building up to this climactic moment of, um, did I win enough treasures to help me prepare, or did I win all the treasures that just give me points? Um, and then the final area, Shard Peak, introduces these corrupted creatures that you can get corrupted yourself if you don't have enough
Oh,
strength to beat them. And then whoever contributes the least amount of strength to that battle, and you didn't both, combo enough to beat the total number on the card, um, the lowest player will get, that card is corruption. And then if you get corrupted twice, you automatically lose. So that one's like high stakes, the climax
Okay.
of the game, climax of the story of Faction Fighters.
yeah. I mean, speaking of the story, you actually have a comic book that comes with it that tells a story, and that's kind of like a campaign book. Do you want to talk about that for a bit?
Yeah, so um, when you play the game, you can play through the campaign, or you can just, choose areas out of order to play. But we suggest doing the campaign first if you want to. And after each area, you'll usually unlock a couple new guys to draft into your decks to change up your team and see what you like playing with. And the comic book, goes through the story of the characters, Hiss and Galazar, as what they're thinking and what they're doing as they go to each area, and then hopefully there's some growth with the characters and with your team as you progress together with a friend through the campaign.
So Hiss and Galazar, those are the legendary characters in the decks, are they not?
No, they're just the main characters.
Oh, they're the main characters. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's talk about the actual factions. How many factions come in the game?
So right now, I think there's 15. We can unlock more with stretch goals depending on how well the Kickstarter does by the end of the campaign.
Okay.
But
and do you have plans for expansions and more of those to be released even following the campaign? Do you have how many ideas do you have floating around your head ready to go if you needed to get them to paper?
we have a ton of stuff already developed. So we have like a stack of cards of guys that we can add, and then they just need like artwork that have been like fully tested. And then we've got like probably at least 3 or 4 area decks that we've worked on that we feel pretty good about. And so we will definitely be releasing more content in the future. Probably not with this Kickstarter, but as an expansion in the future.
Oh yeah, so. Absolutely. I mean, it's people have obviously responded well to it. Being funded, already. So you've got a second Kickstarter in you now with more content too.
Now, will those new area decks come with more pages to the story, more comic book storytelling?
Yeah. So I'm planning on that. I will. We're still trying to figure out like the best way to portray that, if it'll just be like digital or if we put it in another physical pamphlet, because with expansions sometimes you change the size of the box. True. Or do things.
Right.
So.
Yeah, awesome. Now I love to know like the development of a game, and what was some of the development paths you went through? How different is the game now from when you first thought of it and first started designing it? What did it look like back then?
Yeah, so first it just started out with like war with a hand, and then you're fighting over like a circle or an X, and you want to win the circles, you don't want to win the X's. And so that was, pretty boring and pretty predictable because everyone wanted the circle. So I worked through it with my husband a couple times, and we, started adding powers to make it more interesting. And then we added, some wilds so that you can add these wild fighters to your factions to boost up, so it's not just always predictable, like, oh, that faction's always 12 points and you can't add to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's quite a journey playing. How long have you been working on the game? What's the development time?
Probably like 5 or 6 years now. Wow. So it's still been a long time in the making, and we've put a lot of hours and a lot of polish into it. So we're very confident that's a good product. And if you like, lighthearted or just like card battling games, then we're confident you'll like it.
You must be so thrilled that it's doing so well, that it's already passed its funding.
Yeah.
That must be really, really awesome.
That early stage of sweating it out are over, and now you figure out where you're going to go. Speaking of that, like you mentioned, you have some stretch goals. Where are you on that sort of stretch goal ladder right now? And what do you have that's coming up? What's the next one you're working towards?
We're working towards our first one, which is it's a community vote between 2 different factions. So it's you can either vote for the crabs or you can vote for the fire moths. And we're a little less than $400 away from that one. And so I think
you gotta go with the fire moths. Come on, that just sounds cool.
I agree. Fire moth sounds way cooler than crabs.
Nobody wants crabs. Everyone wants a fire
Make them
moth.
Lava crabs at least. Lava crabs and fire moths, and then you get people.
Well, the crabs are water, right?
Crabs are winning right now, so.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no! Come on, people. Fire moths all the way. How about the future stretch goals? What kind of things are you looking at?
So the other one that we have revealed right now is a difficulty setting for Shard Peak, so you can make it even harder if you want. So there's like hard, and then nightmare. And so if people want an extra challenge, they can do that. And then the rest of them we haven't revealed yet. We're waiting till we get a little further along to reveal those. But
So
Awesome.
you do have more plans, so people
yes,
will
we've
know.
got a slew of them if we breeze through these.
All right, good. It's always nice to sort of see what's the next cool thing that's going to be unlocked.
Yeah.
Particularly if people are voting for crabs, you need to have some better options available for crabs over fire moths.
Fire moths, come on.
All right. Well, we have our lightning round questions for you. So we're going to ask you 8 questions just to get to know you as a gamer a little bit more. So these are sort of board game related, gaming night related questions. You ready for it?
Yes.
All right. The last game you played?
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards. All right. Favorite game mechanic?
Card powers.
Card powers. All right. Most recent game purchase?
Yeah, more Pokemon cards.
More Pokemon cards. I sense a theme.
How about that?
Game you most want to add to your collection?
Forgotten Waters, or possibly there's that huge Ryan Lockett game that got recently released. What is it?
Can't remember.
Sleeping Gods. Have you guys heard of that one?
Oh, Sleeping
yes,
Gods.
Sleeping Gods.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's got a great campaign to it too. Campaign or legacy? There's the next question for you. Campaign or legacy game?
Campaign.
Campaign. All right. In your legacy games, destroy the components or preserve them?
Preserve.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Purchasing games, local game store or online?
Local.
Local. Okay. And then last one, dice or cards?
Cards.
Definitely cards. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Faction Fighters. Come on.
Yeah.
It literally is a card game. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, Paige, it's been such a pleasure having you on to get to know you and your Faction Fighters game, and congrats that it's doing so well. But before we let you go, for those who haven't bought in, what do you want people to most know about your game, and why should they back it?
So it's just a great 2-player experience. My husband and I enjoyed playing it, and we designed it with adults and kids both in mind. And we've spent a lot of time blind play testing it and making sure that adults like it too, and it's deep enough for them to enjoy, even if it is a lighter game. And kids, pick it up too pretty fast. So just back our project if you're interested and help us reach that first stretch goal. So
And if you're a fan of Pokemon, I mean, you just got to do it because
Yeah.
believe us, as soon as you look at it, you know this was inspired by Pokemon, without being called Pokemon. So
Yeah.
definitely go check it out. It is on Kickstarter now. The link is down below in our description page. Congrats that it's doing so well. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for watching this video, and if you love it, just like and subscribe down below, and go make sure to go check out my Kickstarter on it's on Kickstarter right now. Here, we can redo that.